All right, class, turn to page 240. Today we're going to be learning about the process by which plants make food. Okay, who has ever heard a teacher like that? Yeah, it sounds a little bit like this, right? And does that inspire greatness and instill a love of learning in you? No, of course not, because they're not teaching. They're just imparting information. So what is teaching? The dictionary definition from Merriam-Webster is to instruct by precept, example, or experience, to make known and accepted. And from dictionary.com, to impart knowledge or skill to give instructions to. In short, teaching is explaining the information and showing us how to use it. Giving information is only a part of it, because it's so much more than that. Teachers have the opportunity, just like parents, to influence and shape a life. However, this is not always the case. Not all teachers of today's world are living up to their full potential. So I want to give you some basic tools and skills to be a more effective teacher. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, I'm not a teacher, and teaching's not really my thing. Actually, I'd politely argue that we are all teachers. If you've ever explained something to someone or shown someone how to do something, you are, in fact, a teacher. So the process I'm going to give you is a 5-step process, and it's based on a similar formula from a public speaking curriculum called the Young Speakers Guild. So here it is. Purpose, prepare, present, respond, and rate. And then, of course, as teachers, we repeat this process every single time that we teach. So let's look at each step in detail. Purpose. Why and communicate. Finding the purpose of your speech, the why, and then communicating it to your students. I once taught a social conversations workshop for 11 to 15-year-olds, and one of the first things that I did is I told them what my objective with the lesson was. Because if students don't know the why, then they're going to wonder why they are there. Fast Company's article also had 16 ways to be a smarter teacher. I'm going to show you the first one on the list, something I've personally learned as a teacher. It's not about you, it's about them. So finding that why, finding that purpose, and then communicating it to your students. Prepare. Know and create. Knowing your subject, and then creating an agenda. I teach private piano lessons, so anytime that I'm doing a lesson with a new student, I try to have an agenda in my head of what songs, exercises, and activities we're going to do. And that way, I'm not all over the place. So knowing your material and then making a game plan. Present. Energy, humor, and balance. Having energy, using humor, and then balancing fun and seriousness. Now, I've had teachers who were just monotone and deadpan. They had no excitement, no love of what they were teaching. Presentation is all about energy level. Our energy level and then our students' energy level. So if we keep both of those up, we will be much more effective. Respond. Balance and safe. Balancing praise and challenge, and then creating a safe environment. I had a professor in my freshman year of college, a health professor. One of the things he did with us is he asked us questions about ourselves. He got to know us, and that made us feel very unique. He also balanced praising us in our knowledge and then challenging us in our knowledge of health. Fast Company's article also said this: students take risks when teachers create a safe environment. So when we respond well to our students and they respond well to us, it's because of that balance of praise and challenge and that safe environment that we've created. All right, so you finished teaching. Whew, it's a big relief, right? I'm sure the first thing on your mind is evaluating yourself, editing your material, and getting ready for the next lesson, right? That's probably not what you had in mind. However, the last step is rate, improve, and feedback. asking how you can improve, and asking for feedback. After I taught that social conversations workshop, I did go back through my material, I edited it, and I made some notes for delivery. I also asked a parent who had been listening in for some feedback. So there you have it, the 5-step process for teaching: purpose, prepare, present, respond, and rate. And of course, repeating this process each time we teach. Now I have to tell you, I love teaching. I relish every single opportunity that I have to teach, and I'm really sad when it's over. I love teaching so much that I'm working towards getting my associate's, bachelor's, and master's degree in elementary education. Now, why should I be a more effective teacher? Why should you? The answer? To impact and equip the next generation. I want to take the same amount of influence that I had and that I was given and give it back to the students. The moment I knew I wanted to be a teacher was when I taught that social conversations workshop. I could really see the difference I had made in those students' lives, and I wanted to do that over and over and over again. I've had not so great teachers, and I've had amazing teachers. One of the best teachers I ever had was in my junior high school class. He was someone who's heavily influenced my teaching style and someone I admire and greatly respect. Students will always remember their inspiring teachers, so I want to be just like my junior high school teacher. I want to be a more effective teacher. The question is, do you? Thank you all so much.
Everything that's happening with teachers and everything. I think this is also a well-needed topic. So I think good topic choice. I'm blown away by just how polished and smooth your speaking style is. Not once did I think that this is a speech. I mean, you're so conversational. I literally felt like you were just talking to us and just sharing some quick tips. So great job with your presentation style. Can definitely tell you put a lot of hard work into this. I loved your snap from being the dull, boring teacher, who didn't really care about what they were saying, to wow, you have energy and you're excited about what you have to say. So that was a really great snap back and forth in between. Also, I noticed when your remote wasn't working, did not even faze you at all. So incredible poise there. The only thing that I really have, this is my opinion, but I'm just getting nitpicky, is when you're saying challenge and, what was it? Praise and challenge, I think, because you also need challenge. So I think if you just kind of leveled it out, and so instead of going, praise and challenge, it makes it seem like challenge is a bad thing, you don't really want that as much. It's still very important. So maybe just, say challenge, and then on the other hand, praise. So it's just equal. That's just me visualizing it. So it's nitpicky, so take it or leave it. Other than that, your slides were very, very clean, very easy to look at. Yeah, so great job, Hannah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hannah, I've never really gotten to hear you speak or work with you on a team or anything, so it's so much fun to learn who you are. I have a degree in education. I love to teach, and so I bonded with you.
Good. Yay.
So, again, love the slides. They're crisp, they're clear, they move. I love the contrast. So there was this red thing first, and then there was just nothing, and then there was the peanuts picture. Just really kept us engaged. That was great. I like that you used your font effectively, so you italicized, not just to be groovy, but actually there were two words that were kind of the same, and you italicized them, so it made it pop. So that was really good. I like how you said, I would like to politely argue. That is, I'm going to model that, I think, because there are times where I have an opinion, but I feel bossy. So, but you do want to be persuasive, so I don't want to just back down.
Yeah.
So I like that. sure you shocked us all that you only said 5 steps and not the 6 steps. Can you explain why you did that?
I chose to not include record, mainly because I felt like it wasn't a very huge step in the teaching process. You certainly do have to do some recording, but I was like, there's really not, at least that I know of, a ton of recording that you have to do that exactly has to do with your lesson, besides keeping track of your lessons, or maybe you have to keep a copy of how many lessons you have. But in the YSG curriculum, you're recording your thank you notes, your forms, your papers, and questions you have to answer. For teaching, it's more like assignments, but students are recording those. So I felt like that wasn't a huge step in the teaching process. I felt that responding and then rating yourself, and of course preparing purpose and then presenting, were much more important. And for the sake of time and having to go through all 6 steps, I decided just to shorten it to 5.
I figured it was purposeful, and I really thought, wow, this young lady is bold to do that in this, in this crowd when we all know there are 6 steps. And so I applaud that. I think that's great. The only thing I would say to improve, the only thing I could think of was you slurred together private piano lessons. So I wasn't quite sure what kind of lessons. I had to kind of think twice.
Okay.
So private piano lessons, or
Okay.
something like teacher.
Private piano
Yeah, it was
lessons.
the word piano. There's just
Okay.
piano like that. Okay, so that was the only thing. And so to close it out, I just want to say that your speaking style is so cool, because you do say you need humor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yet you are not a goofy person or a really animated person.
I think people are laughing because some might disagree. My brother's shaking his head.
Yes. Well, what I was going to say is, even if you have a personality that's not animated and outgoing, you can still be humorous, because you used your slides. I mean, we laughed out loud at the cat with the cucumber,
Yeah.
And